So, game 3 of the Escalation tournament. So, going into game 3, having two absolute crushing defeats for the first two games. I wasn't on the bottom table. Me and my opponent were playing on the second from bottom table. So, at this point, I'd gone through pretty much the entire supply of Disaronno that was in the store. Feeling very, very lightheaded at this point. So I just went into the game hoping to have an absolute blast. And I was considering just throwing the game and coming last, but unlike a lot of tournaments around here, there was no prize for last place, so I kind of went out of the window. So, drawing against Empire, these are the spells that I rolled up. So I've gone for Fire Convocation, Soul Quench, Hand of Glory, and Apotheosis. We're playing the meet engagement scenario in this mission, so I had to deploy first. So I went like this. On my left, I've got the two units of archers, one eagle and one bolt thrower, and a unit of white lines in the centre. The building in the middle is impassable, so I've got my white lines on one side and the silver helms on the other side just to swing around and push past that building. And over on the right over here, I've got another eagle and my eagle noble and another bolt thrower. So the only thing that I had in not come on the table was two bolt throwers, which I felt fairly fortunate about. So my opponent, in response to this, deployed with a cannon on the left, a unit of, looks like 12 handgunners as a detachment to a big horde of greatswords. I think it was 40, and he has his general archlector in that unit. In the back corner, he's got two Hellstorm rocket batteries, so don't often see them. I honestly, at this point, I have no idea what they do. I have literally no idea what those things do at this point in the game. Then he's got a Celestial Hurricanum behind the unit of greatswords with a cannon just to the right of those. So in his sort of centre, he has another. He's got a big unit of swordsmen with basically as a wizard bunker, and I think that basically had two detachments. Has a detachment of halberdiers to the right and a detachment of crossbowmen to the left. And over just completing his left, my right, he's got another cannon and a unit of 5 knights. As far as I remember, he had nothing that didn't start on the board, so he was fairly fortunate in that sense. So to respond to that, I go ahead and put my scouts down in the trees here. So I'm going to take out that cannon on the left. And I put these scouts over here. I'm going to try and sneak past those knights as they push forward and take out the cannon on this side. So my opponent doesn't steal the initiative and I get to go first. So I go ahead and push my Shadow Warriors out to the left just to get away those great swords. I'm going to put some shots into the cannon, most likely. And if those handgunners shoot at me, they're probably not going to do anything at all. The minus whatever. And if they charge me, I think I can beat them in combat anyway. And then next turn I should be able to just charge that cannon and kill it. So feeling fairly confident this side. Eagle just moves up behind the woods to get some cover from the trees. In the centre, archers move up a little bit. I think obviously not brought on the bolt throwers at this point, but they do come on just here behind the archers in a moment. White lines push up. Eagle moves up to behind the tower. I don't think he's going to waste a cannon shot on it, and I'm just waiting to redirect, march block, hopefully get him into that cannon in the centre in future turns, so it's looking good there. Silver Helms don't move up too aggressively. I think I get just in range to do some spells. I'm not entirely sure why I didn't just push them right up. There's nothing really I'm afraid of if it charges me. Again, this tournament was a while ago, and during this game I was drunk anyway, so trying to get into my thought process that I was in this game is going to be very difficult. Eagle Noble pushes up as well, just going to play a bit of chicken with those knights. The Shadow Warriors have just moved into this position, basically just so the knights can't see me and charge me. And he's going to have to either turn to face me and to protect his cannon, in which case he'll reveal his flank to the Eagle Noble, or he just has to, accept he's going to lose his cannon and push out with the knights. Either scenario, I am absolutely fine with. In the magic phase, I go ahead and I get Hand of Glory off on the white lines. It doesn't mean anything. My opponent stops all the spells that do mean anything. And this is the problem I found with high magic, that unless you can be a lore master like the lizard men can, you end up just with one spell to cast every turn, or like one meaningful spell, and your opponent just stops it. You're either in combat, so you can't use your direct damage spells, or you're not in range because the spells are quite short ranged. In fact, it looks like I have actually pushed up the silver helms at this point. The previous picture I must not have moved them yet. I do actually push the silver helms forward, so that's good that I wasn't being a complete idiot. But yeah, so high magic is just really underwhelmed me this tournament. I don't think I'm ever going to use it again for my high elves. I would much rather took Lore of Life, which does pretty much the same thing, and you've got just better spells all around, I think. In the shooting phase, I'll go ahead and kill a knight. Not sure if that was from the Shadow Warriors or the Bolt Thrower or what, but I've killed a knight. On this side, I've killed, looks like 3 handgunners. Again, not sure if that's Bolt Throwers or the Shadow Warriors. Probably a combination of both. So, Empire turn 1. My opponent goes ahead and charges the Shadow Warriors with the handgunners. Like I said, I think I can beat them in combat. I've got 5 attacks, rerolling to hit on 3s, blah blah blah. He's not going to do much damage back to me. I should have that wrapped up there, and in which case if he breaks, I can overrun, and then I'm going to hit the cannon anyway. Then I can kill the cannon in my turn, and then, it puts me in a good spot. So I'm confident there. Great swords push up not too aggressively. The Horror Cannon behind, just in case anything weird happens. In the centre here, just kind of shuffling around, making a bit of a battle line. Nothing exciting to point out, apart from the knights have turned around to face Shadow Warrior, so he wants to protect his cannon, which again I'm fine with, because now the Evil Noble has got a nice tasty flank charge. In the magic phase, my opponent goes ahead and gets the Withering off. I have no idea why I let it go through, which I remember distinctly letting it go through, because all of his other spells he had nothing to do with. So again, this is probably in my drunken haze, I've made a bit of a mistake. So the white lines is toughness 1. And as a result, this happens. So the Hellstorm rocket batteries just absolutely rip me apart. So they do... Again, I'm trying to remember, but I remember him placing 3 small templates down, and they were like strength 2 or strength 3, something like that. Because I'm toughness 1, it just absolutely wrecked me. So out of the 30, I lost, looks like 17. Failed the panic test and run away. So yeah, should not have let the Withering go through. And more shooting, if this is probably the other Hellstorm rocket battery, lands on the archers and kills some of them. So in the shooting phase, he goes to fire one of his cannons, and it misfires and blows up, which I was very pleased about. And he goes ahead and fires his other cannon, which misfires and blows up. So not going well for my opponent at all. But this is the risk with artillery, I suppose. So the handgunners actually killed the Shadow Warriors in combat. Well, they don't kill me, but they do 2 wounds. I do like 1 wound. I absolutely fluff my attacks. Hitting on 3s with a reroll, and then wounded on 4s, I do like 1 wound. I should have done probably 2 or 3, more likely on average. So yeah, lose combat, and I run away, and he decides not to chase me. Whether that's a smart idea or not, I don't know. I don't run very far. Who knows? So, high off turn 2, I'll go ahead and take this charge into the flank of the knights. I've got enough attacks there where I should just break him in combat. Silverhelms, go ahead and take this charge into his big unit. You see I've clipped the wizard there, so I'm going to put that noble on the left into his wizard. Try and take him off. And then the Empire detachment rules means you can get his halberdiers into the flank. Remaining moves, looks the eagle there has just moved up to the flank of this combat to protect him from all the shooting. Shadow Warriors have moved up around the eagle noble combat. I'm not too sure what they're going to do. Maybe get into the flank of those halberdiers in future turns, because they haven't got anything to shoot at. In shooting, this is probably more likely bolt throwers than the Shadow Warriors. Shadow Warriors rally, and the bolt throwers just rip through these handgunners. eagle's in the trees there. I think he's just trying to redirect the great swords. I'm not too sure where they're being redirected from. Who knows what I was doing at this point. Not sure what this photo is supposed to represent. I guess it's my magic phase. I've got my clear dice there that normally I use to represent the increase to my ward save. It's a 1, so I've cast some spell somewhere. After combat, looks like this. The Eagle Noble, I think I killed 2 knights. They didn't do anything back, and they broke them off the table. I kill a bunch of swordsmen. I kill, looks like 1 halberdier. I win combat, and he sticks around because he's, I think he was just about steadfast. I think. If not, he made his leadership on something fairly low. I honestly can't remember. So, Empire turn 2 goes ahead and charges his great swords into the Shadow Warriors. In fact, it looks like he charged into the Eagle first, and then I fled, and then he redirected into the Shadow Warriors. I choose just to hold, just to bring these great swords right over to the side of the table and get them away from my my silver helms. So I was happy to take this charge. Moves his Hurricanum up behind to get +1 to hit. The crossbowmen move forward. Not too sure what they're planning to do. They can't fire now because they've moved. In the back corner there, one of his Hellstorm rocket batteries misfires and blows up. So he's after his pretty decent shooting phase turn 1 with them, not getting too lucky now, and I think it panicked the other one and it can't fire. He goes ahead and so in the combat phase, in the last turn, I put all the attacks I possibly can on his wizards. That's 3 strength 6 attacks from the noble, and 3 strength 5 attacks from the knights, plus a horse kick, and I didn't kill the wizard. So in the magic phase, in his turn, he goes ahead and throws Occam's Mind Razor up on the swordsman, miscasts, and then Dimensional Cascades, and it looks like he did absolutely nothing to the unit, which I'm not sure how that happened. Maybe we just forgot to do the template, I don't know, but yeah, there should have been a strength 10 large blast template there, which to my understanding would have at least wiped out half of those swordsmen, and that didn't happen. I don't know why. Again, this is a long time. So the combat down here, the Shadow Warriors get absolutely blended. No surprise there. I may have killed 1 on the way down, who knows. In combat here, so it looks like I actually win combat, even with the Occam's Mind Razor up. I lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 knights, which isn't great, but I do kill by a fair amount of the halberdiers in the flank, and I kill some of the swordsmen to the front, which I was very happy about. I win combat. The swordsmen stick, and the halberdiers flee and bounce right through my my Shadow Warriors. They must have fled an absolute mile. But considering I had Occam's Mind Razor up, that I got off fairly lightly there to win combat. My assumption is he probably rolled quite low for his rolls to hit. Excuse me, guys. So, high off turn 3, I go ahead and I charge the Eagle into the cannon, and then I go ahead and charge the Eagle Noble into the flank of the swordsman. Now they've got Occam's Mind Razor up, but I'm only going to take 3 attacks. One of which I can bounce with the Charm Shield, and one of which I can bounce with the Golden Crown. So even if he does hit with all 3 attacks, he can't kill me. So I'm fairly confident there, and it just gives me some more attacks into the flank, plus some combat res. So I forgot to take a picture of it last turn, but the White Lions failed to rally at the start of my turn 2, and at the start of my turn 3, they failed to rally. So just shuffling around here, I'm going to try and put some shots into those into the great swords. I've got 3 bolt throwers and all these archers to do so. I need to try and wither them down a little bit. Looks like the Eagle rallied after fleeing from the greatsword charge. Shadow Warriors here just turn around to put some shots into the halberdiers there, and then I'm probably going to charge them if they rally. Why not? In the magic phase, I do go ahead and get the withering off the White Lion, so they're back to toughness 3, so a massive improvement there. Again, I've cast some higher magic spell, probably Hand of Glory on the... Actually, no, I've cast Apotheosis onto the Eagle Noble, or the Eagle. One of them had a wound on, and it's now gone, so I'm guessing that I got Apotheosis off. So in the shooting phase, I go ahead and I do manage to kill a fair few of these greatswords. I don't know exactly how many. Between the archers and the bolt throwers, I've killed some, so that's nice. I'll take that. So looks like I've shot into the halberdiers and they've fled again. Now whether that's right, I don't know. I killed enough to cause a panic test, and it looks like we played it as if they would flee again. And whether you flee again if you're already fleeing, I don't know. But that's how we played it. Combat, I go ahead and I lose a fair few more knights. Looks like 3 or 4 more silver helms, which again, I think I'm getting fairly lucky. I take a wound on the Eagle Noble. I do some wounds back. I think I lose combat, but I stick around, which I was fairly fortunate there. And the Eagle kills the cannon on the left. Takes a wound in return, which kind of sucks. Empire turn 3 goes ahead and charges the archers down here, such a way that you can overrun into the bolt thrower. Halberdiers fail to rally and continue to run off the board, which I appreciate. Hurricane moves up like this. He's looking like he's eyeing up a flank charge into my silver helms next turn. Crossbowmen go ahead and do all 3 wounds to the eagle, which I was fairly surprised about. I wasn't expecting them to kill the eagle, but there you go. He's not really doing anything all game, that eagle. I'm not sure what I was thinking with that eagle. As predicted, archers get completely wiped out. Overruns into the bolt thrower. So into combat. Without Occam's, I absolutely beat the crap out of them. Get him needing double ones to rally, and he rolls double ones to rally. The bravest Empire swordsman in the land, holding up the Ulthuan's finest noble cavalry. There you go. High off turn 4, go ahead and charge the eagle into the rear of these archers, into the crossbowmen. He's going to get revenge for killing his buddy. Shadow Warriors just move up like this. Again, they've not really got anything to do at this stage in the game. There's nothing for them to shoot at. The artillery's dead, that they're too far away from the surviving Hellstorm. Excuse me, guys. So the White Lions finally rally, which I was pleased about, because if they failed again, they'd probably be off the board. But so they rally. Bolt throwers do 3 wounds to the Hurricanum. I quite like to kill it, but what are you going to do? Grey Swords completely wipe out the bolt thrower and then reform like this. So they're going for ranks now. Not sure why. Probably thinking just to get past that little obstacle, but I wouldn't have said that was anything other than just a wall. Combat phase, we managed to wipe out the rest of the swordsmen, and they break and flee off the table, so I just reform to face, because I know the Hurricanum's coming. Eagle takes a wound, kills a few of the crossbowmen, but not enough to make them understeadfast, and they stick, which was a shame. So, Empire turn 4, Halberdiers refuse to rally again and run off the board. Great Swords down here, charging into the bolt thrower, going to kill it or run into the other bolt thrower. Hurricanum comes into the eagle, so yeah, we're going to lose that eagle there. Magic phase, got no wizards, so he just throws up all his prayers. I think he rolls like 5 dice at one and 5 dice at the other. Goes ahead and kills the eagle, overruns into the silver helms. So I'm going to take a bunch of impact hits, but then I should be able to kill the Hurricanum fairly simply. Great Sword to kill the bolt thrower, overrun into the bolt thrower. High off turn 5, I reform my White Lions like this to ready for the Great Sword charge. Now this again was another mistake, and I think it's highlighting my lack of ability of playing this game while it's drunk. What I should have done is just march them forward, just turn them around, march them away. If you charge, just flee. In that fight now, with my reduced numbers, it's going to go to the Great Swords all day, every day, with their prayers up. I don't know why I was thinking that the White Lions would even stand a chance. Perhaps I was thinking maybe I taking out his characters in there, because there is a captain and a BSB in there. There's his general and his BSB in there, so I don't know why I was thinking, maybe trying to get those points. What I should have done is just run away. I don't know what I was thinking. Go ahead and I charge the Eagle Noble into the flank of these crossbowmen, so that should be good night for them. And we going to fight the combat against the Hurricanum. So the magic phase, I'll go ahead and I've got some spells off. Looks like, because he has no level 4 now, I'm kind of running away the magic phase a little bit. I've gone ahead and got the Apotheosis off on the Eagle Noble to get his wound back. Got Hand of Glory off, and I can't remember what else I've cast. It says I've cast 3 spells, but I don't think I physically could have cast 3 spells. So that should more likely be +1. +2 to the ward save, not +3. So back here, I noticed that there is one little handgunner left alive, because he's been hiding amongst, in my peripheral vision, amongst the dead pile all game. So I shoot him, kill him, and panic the Hellstorm. Combat phase, Eagle Noble makes short work of the crossbowman. The Noble, who is strength 6 all the time, with the Ogre Blade, just bitch slaps the Hurricanum. I only take 1 casualty from the impact hits, which I thought was fairly fortunate, but I did have, a 4 up armor and a 5 up ward save on the unit, so not too bad at all there. I have lost the BSB from the Silverhelm unit. I'm not sure where that happened. So Empire turn 5, go ahead and he charges the White Lions, and like a fool I hold. I should have just fled. This combat's going to only go one way, and I don't know why I thought it would go anywhere remotely in my favour. So he's gone ahead and he's got the rerolls to wound up. He's got a 5 up ward save up, and he's going to reroll to hit. So he's going to absolutely beat the crap out of me. And that's what happens. I kill some of the unit. I don't do any wounds to the characters as far as I know. I'm down to just the musician and standard bearer. But I'm stubborn 8 and I hold. Into high off turn 6. So the Eagle Noble that broke the crossbowmen and failed to run them down. I just charge them again. I'm going to try and finish them off. I'm not sure what the archers are doing. I think they're moving up to maybe shoot with the Hellstorm in the back corner. Silverhelms just move around. Shadow Warriors just move to the building. They've got absolutely no purpose now, just to not die. Again, I've got a whole bunch of spells off. Hand of Glory, Apotheosis, blah blah blah. Doesn't matter now at this point anyway, game's over. And the Great Swords finish off the White Lions, and that is the end of the game. Because my opponent's turn, he just turns around his Great Swords, and that's all he has. That's all he's got to do. He can't charge anything. I can't get any more points, so we just call it here. It was a victory to the High Elves, but it could have been a much greater victory if I'd have just kept the White Lions alive. That's 470 points that I just threw away for absolutely no reason and no gain whatsoever. I'm going to do a real quick tournament wrap up here, just because I don't want to do another video. Basically, Lord of High Magic let me down. It's absolutely terrible if you can't take the entire lore. The lore itself is great, but what I've found in every game I've used it so far is I found myself in a situation where only 1 spell matters. If you're taking something like Shadow or Death, you normally have 2 or 3 spells that you can get off that will change the game. With High Magic, with whatever playset you take, you normally have 1 spell you want to get off, whether that's Soul Quench on like some chaff, whether it's Fire Convocation, whether it's Drain Magic, whether it's Walk Between Worlds. Normally there's only that 1 spell that you can cast that's going to mean anything, and your opponent will just stop it and then let you have a bunch of other meaningless crap spells. Sure, it bumps up your ward save, but that's only relevant if you've got your wizard in a combat unit, and then he's either going to die, or you've got to invest points like I did in a second noble to keep him alive. And just on the whole, I just very, very underwhelmed with the High Magic lore. Every game in this tournament, I wished I'd had life instead of high. And before the tournament started, I went in to the tournament, thinking, should I take high, should I take life, should I take high, should I take life? And at the last minute, I went with high, and I wish I'd gone with life. But, this is what happens. It was a great event. It was a great one-day tournament. It was the first indie tournament I've ever been to, not including the Student Nationals. Really, really enjoyed it. Really like to be at an event with sort of a proper scoring system. The ones I've been to before, mainly you know, the Games Workshop Throne of Skulls, their scoring system and their you know, pairing system, it's just silly. It makes no sense. This one was much better. I really enjoyed the day. I was just highly annoyed to end up being drawn against Skaven twice. There's only 2 Skaven players at the whole event, and I played them both. It's just one of those things. I was begging to play Warriors or Demons. There was some horrible looking Warriors and Demons lists there that everyone was terrified of. I'd have loved to play against them. I don't care. I've got all the tools I need. I've got the Bolt Throwers. I've got the Banner of the World Dragon. You know, I'll take on, you know, all the Demons and Warriors any day of the week. But it didn't happen. Didn't win any awards, as you might expect, with, you know, losing 2 games. I finished like 30 out of 40 or 50 people, so it was pretty terrible showing. But I learned a lot, and noticed some of the mistakes I made by doing these battle reports. The best thing about these reports is you look back and you learn from your mistakes that you make during the game. So that's the tournament wrap up, guys. Hope you enjoyed watching the 3 videos here. Not got any tournaments planned coming up because as of recording this video, my fiance is due to give birth in 8 days' time. So probably going to take a bit of a hiatus from the hobby in general, but most certainly from the channel for probably a good month or so. Come back in sort of end of January, February time, maybe before. It just depends on how my free time goes. But it's probably going to be a good few weeks with nothing coming up on the channel. My channel goes in fits and starts anyway. So just stick with it. The channel's not dead. It's not in any sort of decline. It's just going to take a bit of a break while I accustom to becoming a father for the first time. So I hope you enjoyed the tournament reports, guys. I'm going to get back with more in the new year. There's no tournaments lined up as of yet, but I'm going to get myself signed up to some around April time. I've got the Student Nationals coming up, and then I've got a few potential tournaments in sort of July and August time. So next year is going to be pretty tournament heavy for me. I've signed up to the Rankings HQ, obviously in the UK section, and I'm going to see if I can see how high I can move up the rankings over the next couple of years. I'm going to become one of these proper hardcore tournament gamers. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you like what you see. Like the video and drop some comments below. Anything at all. I respond to as many as I possibly can, you know, in the free time that I get. So again, thanks for watching, guys, and goodbye.